Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to Divine Conversations and welcome to the month of September of 2022 for you. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. So keep in mind, guys, that this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. We are going to be looking at the month of September through the guise of true sidereal astrology. If you're not familiar with true sidereal astrology, I highly recommend that you stick to the channel here. That is what we practice here on Divine Conversations. And as we go through this, I am going to be speaking to this from the point of view of Taurus rising. So if you're not a Taurus rising in the true sidereal system, then that's okay. This message could still resonate for you. But when we talk about the astrology, which is the intention of this video here, the placements of the planets in the housing system is not going to be accurate for you. But that does not mean that you cannot resonate with this situation or with these energies, okay? And if you've never had a true sidereal reading or you've never seen your true sidereal chart, first of all, you have found yourself in the right place because it is my goal to bring that to the masses. But if you would like, I would be more than happy to provide you with a copy of your chart, absolutely free of charge. All you got to do is shoot me an email. My email can be found in the description box below. Shoot me an email letting me know you're interested in receiving a copy of your true sidereal natal chart. And that will be absolutely 100% for free. If you would like to schedule a session with me for interpretation, that is available too. That will be charged for. I do recommend that we go for an hour-long session because that will really give us time to really talk about the energies of your chart. But that I am absolutely available for that as well. Again, all you got to do is shoot me an email letting me know you're interested, and I will be more than happy to get you all hooked up there. Yes? All right, Taurus, let's get into these energies for you. So let's look at your chart. All right, we're going to get into your chart here. So this, Taurus, is the chart for you in terms of September of 2022. Now, we do have Mars transiting through your sign of Taurus. Mars is going to be transiting through Taurus until the end of March of 2023. So this is going to be in a bit of an extended transit, but that's mainly because Taurus is one of the fairly bigger constellations in our sky, and true sidereal astrology does incorporate not only the sign of Ophiuchus, but also the true sizes of the constellations, okay? Now, for you as a Taurus rising, this is happening in your first house. And the big thing that I was picking up for you this month, Taurus, is an energy of reconnecting with yourself, but there's something about your body image that is coming through for you this month. That is very much an element of the first house being your sense of self and your body, okay? And with Taurus being here, it has something to do with the aesthetics of your body. Just reading through my notes here for you. This could be a time where you start a weight loss journey, or maybe you have a desire to improve your muscle tone. The first card that's come out for you here, Taurus, is the Fool. There is definitely a new beginning that is being influenced by Mars moving through your first house. Now, the other thing about this, it's not necessarily just that Mars is moving through your first house here, but it also has to do with, hold on now, wait. Let me not get ahead of myself here. Let me stay with my notes. But the first card that you have is the Fool. So there's definitely some sort of, I'm hearing, and I was hearing as I was sitting with these energy for you, some sort of weight loss plan or body transformation. And this is all having to do with a greater sense of health and well-being for you, okay? Whatever this is for you, Taurus, Venus, who is transiting through from the third house and then going to be getting into your fourth house later on in the month. This is promoting a greater level or better forms of nurturance and self-care. Improvements in your self-image are really accentuated right now with Mars transiting through your first house. And eventually Mars is going to be trining with Saturn. That's the other thing that I feel is really influencing this change in your I keep hearing body dysmorphia. So some of you may actually be dealing with a certain level of body dysmorphia. And that could absolutely be something that is, something that has been affecting you or plaguing you since you were a child. Now, many of you know, or maybe you've heard already, that we do have another round of Mercury retrograde that we're going to be dealing with this month. And quite frankly, we're going to be dealing with it throughout most of the month. Mercury starts retrograde motion around the 9th of September and starts to go back direct on the 1st of October, okay? And for you, Taurus, Mercury, which is right down here, is going to be going retrograde from your 5th house in Virgo back into your 4th house. Now, Mercury doesn't actually make it back into the constellation of Leo. Mercury stays in the constellation of Virgo. But for you specifically, Taurus, with Mercury retrograde going back from your 5th house into your 4th house, the 5th house being the house of your child, of your inner child, and or of children for you if you do have children, but also your sense of inner child, but also the 5th house is rules how you express yourself. Well, how you express yourself in the 5th house is directly related to how you were nurtured in childhood or in your early life, which is represented by your 4th house. And with Mercury moving retrograde from your 5th house to your 4th house, this actually could be reconnecting you with ways that you have learned to nurture yourself, or lack thereof, from your childhood. And you really could be addressing or readdressing these energies with this Mercury retrograde, okay? And now, with that said, eventually Mars is going to be making a trine with Saturn, Saturn being in your 9th house of higher awareness, higher learning, expansion, getting out of your comfort zone, of traveling to new places, out of city, out of state, even out of country. I feel like the trine between Mars eventually and Saturn in your 9th house, Mars being in your 1st house, is going to help you recreate or reshape those practices or that discipline or the habits you may have accepted or integrated into your life that may have been negative. And that could be really where you are getting this new sense of a new start in terms of changing your body image, changing how you nurture yourself, changing how you care for yourself, okay? This really could be going all the way back to your childhood. And even though that might be a really painful thing for you to deal with, oh boy, even though that really could be a painful thing for you to deal with, ultimately the transformation that comes of this, death is the next card that comes out here. The transformation that could come from this, Taurus, could really, really improve your life moving forward. Now, keeping with the tarot cards here, what came through for you is death and the 2 of cups. Now, for some of you, in terms of love and relationships, this could also be reshaping the type of relationships that you go after or that you experience in your life. Many of you could have been dealing with relationships that have reflected this level or this sense of body dysmorphia, or reflected this sense of lack of true beneficial nurturance for yourself. Some of you could really be ending those cycles and ending those specific relationships. Some of you could have relationships that come to an end as a result of this, and you start new and fresh. For others of you, and maybe even for the same people, new relationships could come into play for you because of this transformation in how you care for and how you nurture yourself. I really don't want this to be too much in the realm of vapidness or superficiality, but for those of you that are really changing your body image and changing the sculpture of your body, that could bring in new attention, okay? That could bring in people that really start to see your beauty, because your beauty is shining through. Why is your beauty shining through? Because you are changing the way that you are caring for yourself. You are changing the way that you nurture yourself. You're changing your diet. You're getting into the gym. You're losing weight in really healthy ways. You're starting to build muscle in really healthy ways, okay? This is really beautiful for you, Taurus. I'm really loving this energy for you. The next card you have out out here for you is the Knight of Swords. Really aggressively taking advantage of this time period. But this is aggressively taking advantage of clearing out the space or ending certain circumstances that were quite heartbreaking for you. Three of Swords to the Knight of Swords, but also the Three of Pentacles. Really aggressively pursuing this new time frame for you that changes your life because of a greater level of self-mastery. Okay? The Three of Pentacles. I feel like at this point, Taurus, with Mars transiting through your first house, is really giving you the aggressiveness, the drive that you need to really take on this new reshapement of your physical body. But your physical body is really, I feel like also for many of you, your desire to reshape your physical body is a direct reflection of the reshaping of your mental aspects or the way that you see yourself. Many of you could have actually been going through a time period right now where your thought processes about yourself, what it is you believe about yourself, or how it is you see yourselves are really changing. And now you're getting to the aspect or the time period where that change in your mental atmosphere, maybe even your emotional atmosphere, can now start to be reflected in how you look in your physical reality. Okay, all of this is really healthy, and I encourage you guys to keep this healthy. I really don't feel like this has anything to do with, I feel like this is a beneficial thing for you. Any sort of body dysmorphia or negative ways that you see yourself are changing or have shifted. And that's why your physical reality is now ready to start being shifted and worked on so that it can reflect the different ways that you're seeing yourself or the different ways that you're perceiving of yourself. You're finally ready to bring that into physical form. All right. This is really, really beautiful for you, Taurus. I love this. The next card that's come out for you here is the Knight of Cups. Beautiful. Loving yourself, having an open heart here. And Five of Pentacles, having the sense of compassion to really bring yourself out of feeling left out in the cold. I feel like for many of you, or maybe not for many of you, but for some of you here, this big shift is happening because you are deciding to pull yourself out of the cold. You are deciding to give yourself the love, the care, and the compassion that you need so that you can express yourself and feel better about yourself in some new and beautiful ways. This is really excellent for you, Taurus. I love this for you. Let's get back into the chart just to talk about a few more things. I do want to fast forward a little bit and show you where things are going to be in terms of the full moon. Now, we do have a full moon coming up here. The full moon is going to be in the beginning of the month around the 9th of September. Okay, the full moon is really is exact in the wee hours of the 9th into the early hours of the 10th. And for you, not hours. I want to do days. We're just animating the chart here. For you, Taurus, this full moon is happening in your 4th house. Again, there is a strong level of accentuation in terms of how you love and care and nurture yourself. And also, this could be another energy in terms of your self-image or the image that you have, how people perceive of you, okay? While the sun is in your 4th house in Leo, the moon is going to be in your 10th house in Aquarius. For you, this will be in the 10th house, okay? So this also could translate into a change in your career, all right? Actually, this could end up meaning a change in your career, Taurus, because your image changes, your sense of confidence changes, the way that people perceive of you. There's so many ways that I feel like this message for you could be turning into some really superficial aspects. But honestly, we're in a physical world. So we're really not meant to be disregarding the physicality of life. And this might seem superficial, but honestly, Taurus, the ways that you change and improve and resculpt your body could really have some really beneficial, positive aspects for you in terms of your career and your finances. It could also inspire you to go after some new things in your life, go after that dream job or that dream career for you. But that's really because your sense of self-confidence is changing, is growing, is improving. So while you're really having the confidence to reshape and resculpt your body, and maybe even having the wherewithal or the follow through, the perseverance to do that, because Mars in Taurus does talk about real strong tenacity, okay, and real strong levels of follow through, all right? It also could translate into you having the confidence to finally go after that dream job or that dream career. Some of you may even get into modeling, which would be really beautiful for you, okay? Yeah, this is really beautiful for you. So by the time that we reach that full moon, this could either be that moment where you have the confidence to go after those things, but it also could be the moment where you feel the infusion of power to set yourself off on this new journey, okay, of complete physical transformation. But keep in mind, Taurus, the real reason that I'm feeling that this transformation is happening for you is because the transformation has sufficiently happened in your mindset, in the way that you see yourself, in your emotional state, okay? And so now it's time for that transformation mentally and emotionally to start to take physical expression. Yes? Excellent. Now, we do have Mercury retrograde happening this month. This is, again, like I said for you before, Mercury is retrograding from your 5th house back into your 4th house. So this really could be a time where you could really start to rewrite that programming. If you have any sort of negative or negative ways of caring for yourself, negative eating habits, negative thought processes, negative belief systems, or anything that just keep you down or keep you in a low vibrational or negative state, using that Mercury retrograde can really help you to rewrite that programming, okay? Completely erase that old and negative, detrimental belief system or processes and relearn how to nurture yourself, relearn your nutritional value, and relearn how to have a better diet, or learn that new exercise regimen and all that kind of stuff. You could really use Mercury retrograde to rewrite that programming, especially if that programming stems from your childhood, okay? And when it comes to your parents, for some of you specifically, really try not to blame your parents too much or really get down on your parents, because I do want to say it feels like they were doing what the best that they could. They were working with what they had, okay? The next card that's come out for you here is the 5 of Swords energy. Do not allow yourself to sink into any sort of negativity when it comes to that. Really trying to blame your parents or blame the past or anything is really going to be a detrimental energy for you. They were doing the best they can given the circumstances. Even if those circumstances were really, really negative, you have to understand that your parents and even your elders, or the people that, and maybe if it's not your parents, maybe if it was old trainers or people that you looked up to or that you aspired to be like, only to realize or find out that the practices that they were putting forward were actually really detrimental, were not as healthy as you wanted them to be. You have to understand that they were coming from a place that either they had trauma or they were just going with what they learned in their lives, okay? So really getting into the whole drama aspect, the destructive element of that, is not really, walk away from that, okay? And focus more on where it is you want to be moving forward instead of getting into the combativeness of that energy. All right, Taurus? Okay, let's get a closing message for you, Taurus, for the month of September. Closing message for Taurus, please. Closing message for Taurus in the month of September 2022. I'm going to give this one last shuffle, Taurus. One last message for you. Here we go. For Taurus, closing message. There's that 5 of Swords again. Here's that Five of Swords again, Taurus. All right, but this time it's come out in reverse. This month, regardless as to whatever this is for you here, whether this is translating into your body, levels of body dysmorphia, I keep hearing that, or any other ways that you would like to take action towards reshaping your personal sense of self. The month of September for you is all about releasing the combativeness. Forget the past. Forget what it is you learned in the past. Forget what it is you've experienced in the past. It's all about dropping those swords of resentment and battle and just getting into alignment with what it is that's going to serve you moving forward in the future. I'm going to take all of these cards. Here you go. Finally, you have, yet again, that Fool. There's the Fool again with the 10 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Taurus, the month of September is all about dropping the burdens and taking the leap of faith into the new cycle that expresses greater love and nurturance for you. It's all about reshaping your body, and also maybe even reshaping your sense of self. Leave the past behind. Keep up those healthy boundaries. It's all about keeping those healthy boundaries and taking that leap of faith away from the burdens and the struggles that have held you back in the past. I'm going to leave it there, Taurus. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you. Please make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe for more readings. We are going to be getting more messages for all of the signs later on in the month, so stay tuned for that one. If you would like to get a copy of your true sidereal chart, or if you would like to get a interpretation, if you'd like to have a session with me in terms of that, definitely check the description box below. But with that said, I hope you have a fantastic month. I am sending you so much love, and I look forward to connecting with you again for our next reading very, very soon. Yes? Excellent. Bye, Taurus.